Order the Board of Zoning Appeals public meeting for Monday, February 23rd, 2026. Would you please join us in the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Next, we'd like to welcome a new member of board to the Board of Zoning Appeals for the town of Schererville, Mr. Edward Olszewski, sitting there on the end to my left there. We're very happy to have you as a part of the BZA, Edward. We look forward to your contributions to the board, and we're very happy to have you here.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Next is roll call, and we'll ask Mr. O'Rourke to take our roll call for this evening.
Mr. Davis,
Here.
Mr. Koros,
Here.
Mr. Jarvis,
Here.
Mr. Olszewski,
Here.
Michael O'Rourke here.
Thank you. Next on the agenda is approval of minutes of the Board of Zoning Appeals for January 26, 2026.
Mr. Chairman, I'll make a motion to approve the minutes of January 26, 2026.
Got a motion from Mr. Jarvis. Is there a second?
Second.
Second from Mr. Kuros. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Next on the agenda is BZA case number 26-2-17, 5800 to 5830 US Highway 30, Web Genesis, general location 5800 to 5830 US Highway 30, Clarendale of Schererville, Outlot A, petitioner, Webb Automotive Group, Kelly Webb Roberts, represented by attorney James L. Weiser, Weiser and Wiley LLP, request developmental variance as required by ordinance number 2004, Title 17, Section 15, Paragraph E4. Purpose to allow additional site lighting and changes to the photometric plan. Would the petitioner for this please step forward and state your name?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Excuse me. And members of the BZA, my name is Jim Weiser. I'm the attorney for the project. My offices are located at 429 US 30, as the post office now
Jim,
tells
I'm
me.
sorry.
Schererville, can you hear me?
Before you go any further, I just want to ask our attorney, are the proofs of publication in order?
They are.
Thank you. I'm sorry, Jim. Go
No,
ahead.
Thank you. Before I get into the topic tonight, it's nice to see you, Ed.
Thank you, Jim.
Ed has the misfortune of living across the street from my daughter and her two wild little kids, so I met Ed. I'd like to first introduce who's with me this evening, and I have here Kelly Webb Roberts, who's the president of Webb Automotive, her brother Brian, who's the vice president of Webb Automotive, and Eric Olsz, who's our architect. So they're here this evening to respond to any questions that you may have, and I'll just attempt to give you a bit of a brief overview. As you know, this matter has been before you before for other matters and has all been approved. There was when we brought the photometric plan to you the first time, there were some changes as Eric went back and forth with Neil, some changes that needed to be made. Those changes were made and approved, and so when it was fully approved, that was included. Subsequent to that, there were a couple of other minor changes made to the photometric plan that was done, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, Denise, but was done administratively in-house. Once they got to the point in time where they're at in construction, it became apparent to them, or they believed that for security reasons, for safety reasons, there had to be some additional work done for the lighting. When that was brought to the attention of the staff, it was determined that, well, this is some changes. In the overall scheme of things, from a lawyer's perspective, I wouldn't consider them substantive changes in the overall engineering plans, but it is a significant change to the photometric plan. So it was the belief then of staff that we should come before you, and we understand that. So I'm just going to give a really quick overview, and then once I've done that, please feel free to answer or to ask and have answered any questions that you may have. I mentioned that this is for safety and security purposes that these changes are being made, but I think the significant thing is you need to know where the changes are being made in the photometric plan. We've provided you, and actually it's right there, and we've identified with color coding, which always challenges me, as you all know. I'm not very good. In fact, I'm colorblind, so it's tough for me. But we've provided that to you and showing where the changes are made. And the changes significantly, all of them are made either along the south side of the project, adjacent to US 30, or on the east side of the project, where the service area and the entry to the service area is going to be located. And we specifically and intentionally made no changes to lighting whatsoever that is located adjacent to the senior living facility. We were very careful, and there was a lot of discussion about that in the past, about protecting that area and not disturbing the senior living facility, so all of the lighting remains the same there. Along US 30, there's going to be 4 additional double head light poles, as well as 3 new poles along the east property line, as I've previously mentioned, but that's the number of poles. The one impacting and hopefully enhancing the lighting into the entrance off of US 30. In addition to that, there's going to be, I think it's 11 new fixture heads to existing poles. So that's not, the only thing that's changing are the lighting heads on the existing poles, which will further improve the illumination on the front and the side of the building. And as I've mentioned, it was felt after careful consideration that this was needed for security and safety purposes, not only for the customers, not only for adjoining property owners, but certainly on-site. Unfortunately, theft in automobile dealerships has become a challenge, and want to make it as safe and secure as we possibly can. So having said that, as far as the specifics go, as I said, I have all 3 here ready to answer any questions you may have. So I have opened it up, your public hearing, to any comments from the public or any questions or comments you all may have. So thank you for allowing us this opportunity to make the presentation.
Thank you, Mr. Weiser. We'll bring it back here to the board. Are there any questions from board members? If not, we'll push it out to the floor, to the public. Is there anyone in attendance tonight that would like to step to the podium and have any questions or concerns for the web group? Well, if not, we'll bring it back to the board. If any questions have come up in the meantime, and it doesn't seem like it. If not,
Mr. Chairman, if
Yes.
I may.
Mr. Jarvis.
Jim, do you have an engineer or somebody that could talk about this lighting?
Yeah, we have our architect here who's designed it and has worked with their.
Mind bringing him up?
Neil. Sure.
Okay.
Hi there.
Hi. One of the things I had noticed, he said that there wasn't too much changing on the Clarendale side, but as I read here, it says changing single heads to double heads, and then 3 changing from additional 3 poles with double heads on those. Now, is this downlighting, or is it going to be forcing light to the property itself and away from Clarendale?
Yeah, these are all downlights, that they have the full cutoff. So we're sending all the light down to the parking lot. And the Clarendale is to north on here, along the north property line. To the east of the property is a swamp, essentially.
Right, I understand that. I'm trying to protect the Clarendale situation with the elderly there and assisted living, and making sure this lighting doesn't bleed over. And you're assuring me that that light won't do that?
Correct. None of the changes that we made here will affect that north property line.
Because I truly understand a car dealership having as much light as they can to sell their product, and also for safety and security. That's all I have, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Mr. Jarvis. Just an adjoining question. Were there any questions or concerns from the home about, did anyone ever come over and have any questions or concerns?
We haven't received any feedback from them.
Okay. Okay.
Mr. Chairman,
Mr. Curris?
tell me the duration of the light, the time that the lights are on, like from 6 o'clock, 5 o'clock to?
They're on photo eye sensors, and they can be programmed to go on and off at whatever time they would like.
Any other questions?
Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
just a
Mr.
question
O'Rourke.
for the town. What does the ordinance say that we're asking for a variance on? This ordinance 2004 title,
It's got to be under a certain foot candle.
is
And
what?
a foot candle, that's how light is measured.
So it's brighter than what the
Yes.
ordinance is? Okay, that's what I want to know, because I did see it in 2 spots, it's noted that it exceeds 1 FC, which I don't know what 1 FC means,
Yeah, foot candle.
foot candle. But overall, there's more lighting here than is normal.
Than what was approved at the Plan Commission, yes.
Okay, thank you.
Mr. Chairman, one last question, I'm sorry.
Jarvis.
Back to our architect. The lighting, can it actually be dimmed if we run into a problem?
It can't be dimmed. It's either on or off.
Okay.
Any other questions from board members? If not, is there a motion from any board member?
Mr. Chairman,
Mr. Jarvis?
BZA case 26-2-17, 5800, excuse me, 5830 US Highway 30, Web Genesis, general location the same, Clarendale of Schererville Outlot A, petitioner Webb Automotive Group, Kelly Webb Roberts, represented by James L. Weiser, Wiley LLP, request development variance as required by ordinance number 2004, Title 17, Section 15, Paragraph E4, to allow additional site lighting and changes to the photometric plan. I make a motion to approve pursuant to all state, local, federal regulations, and the fees to the town of Schererville be kept current.
We have a motion for approval from Mr. Jarvis. Is there a second?
Second.
Second from Mr. Kuros. Mr. O'Rourke?
Mr. Koros,
Yes.
Mr. Jarvis,
Yes.
Mr. Olszewski,
Yes.
Mr. Davis,
Yes.
and O'Rourke, yes.
Motion approved.
Thank you
Thank
very
you.
Thank you very much.
Next on the agenda is BZA case number 26-2-18, 2436 US 41, The Dog Depot. General location 2436 US 41, Crosby's Addition, Lot 1. Petitioner Kelly Turner, on behalf of the Dog Depot LLC, requests variance of uses required by ordinance number 2004, Title 16, Section 5, Paragraph C3, to allow overnight dog boarding and dog daycare facility. Mr. Attorney, are the proofs of publication in order?
Yeah.
Thank you. Would you state your name and,
Hi, good evening. I'm Kelly Turner. I'm accompanied with my sister. This is Tina Turner. She's also my business partner.
okay? Would you tell us a little bit about about the dog boarding and the dog care facility that you're proposing?
Sure. So we are the founders. This will be our very first location. We are looking to open in you guys' town. The purpose of our business is to provide proper care, love, and attention to dogs in both Schererville and surrounding communities. We have partnered with some local people that deal with dogs, such as a dog trainer, Tactics Dog Training, that's going to provide my staff the resources that they need in order to know how to properly care for the animals. And we are looking to start just a small scale, just starting off, considering the location that we want isn't the biggest. Though there is room for expansion, we are looking to house on a daily operational, on the daily about, I'll say 25 to 30 dogs.
What are the hours that,
That'll be 7 to 7, Monday through Friday, Saturday 10 a.m. to 5 p.m., and closed to the public on Sundays.
okay, are there any questions from board members?
Mr. Chairman,
Mr. Kurz?
ladies, please forgive me. Your location, 2436, where is that specifically?
Sure, that will just be just south of Highway 30, US 30. So looking on the map, let's see. Okay, what we got here? Okay, that's Wicker. So yeah, that's basically, yeah, you see where the mouse is. Yep.
South of 77th.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, I should have gone and visited. I still don't see, what's in your,
Okay, there's a Ted's pet feeding store that's on the same side of the street, and it's just south of that, probably about 2 blocks.
so you are by Sherwood Lake Apartments, by the apartments?
There, yeah, there's all commercial property. There's no residential properties within a 300-foot radius of that.
Strip mall of Sherwood Lake?
It's a freestanding location.
Straight across 41 from Chicken Bread. There's a building and then there's a vacant lot. Which is
Oh, so
Crosby's
you're,
and
yes, okay, all right.
Yeah.
So it sits on approximately 0.8 acres. There is room to create the necessary fencing in the back, so the dogs will be enclosed when we have outdoor time, such as relief or playtime outdoors.
So Kelly, presently fencing is not there, is that what you're saying right now?
That is correct. That'll be something that we have to work on getting. But there is the room for it. Like where the location, where the building is, there's actually, well, as you can see, there's plenty of room on that land to like build whatever you need to do outside of just the building itself.
Yeah, so aside from the fencing that we would need to construct around the facility for the relief area and play area for the dogs, all of the rest of the renovations and modifications we don't have to are done inside the building. Yeah, we've made and factored in variances for noise mitigation. And so we have policies and procedures in place so that it's not disruptive to the surrounding businesses. You know, for example, if a dog starts barking, we have procedures in place to mitigate that.
How soon do you plan on getting that fencing up, since there are, as you say, other commercial establishments around you?
Oh, for sure. So we're looking to open up and launch this summer. So everything will be done, the fencing, all the internal renovations, noise mitigations, everything will be done before we open.
Mr. Chairman,
Mr. Kuros?
ladies, please forgive me again. This was just given to us tonight, so you're, I'm sorry? Oh, forgive me. And I got a message on it too, and I still don't do it. I'm sorry. So the concept here is the
Right, what is it?
the guests, the citizens going out of town, or the customers going out of town, they're leaving their dogs with you.
Yeah.
You're grooming them, or you're just watching them, or what's happening here?
Good question. So at the moment, what we're doing is doggy daycare, and we're doing overnight boarding for people who go out of town and need to have their pets boarded while they travel. So yeah, we're not doing any grooming at the moment. We will have an implementation of training, because that is an area that people are very much so interested in, training the puppies as well as, you know, just potential options that we have for training for their adult dogs too. But right now, it's solely going to be launched with just the boarding and the daycare.
And I'm going to ask that you forgive my ignorance on this subject, because I'm not an animal person, but the dogs stay, you have a suite for them overnight,
Oh, of course.
and there's not anyone on site, there's not a person on site, the dogs just are there in their rooms. Or
Right.
is there somebody overnight?
So yeah, we're going to have people there every day. However, there will be, once we get everybody checked into their rooms and logged into their rooms, we will have, someone will leave, but we'll be back. Everything will be on the schedule in terms of feeding and letting them out. But we have situations in place and systems in place where the dogs won't be left unattended for a significant amount of time. And everything will be remotely monitored. So we'll have remote monitors and video viewings. So the customers could also tap in and view their dogs. So we will be watching things remotely even when we're not on premises.
Can you just give an overview of how you're going to set up that waste removal procedure?
You want to?
Okay, so we did a little research on this to see if there was any specific guidelines that were required by Lake County in terms of removing pet waste. And upon doing that, and I even spoke to the animal shelter even in Schererville, and what they do is they just remove the waste in the same, with everything else, like all the other waste, they remove it the same way. So there's no specific procedure in place to remove pet waste. But we still will use bags and stuff to make sure everything is sanitary.
Yeah,
Right. I wanted to add to that the requirement, according to the sanitation department, is that it is packaged separately in its own plastic receptacle. And we will have storage bins and containers where it will be secure, like latch secure. So we have mitigations in process. So waste removal is part of the best practices that we have in place to make sure that, you know, we aren't at any risk for spreading any type of diseases or, you know, anything else happening with the waste until it's picked up and removed off premises.
Thank you for clarifying that.
Yes.
Mr. Chairman?
Mr. Kouros.
The customer comes, drops off the dog, so you don't have a lot of customer traffic, right? And then the concern that it's so close to 41, there's not a concern that something would happen, the dogs get loose or anything like that, because you're fencing it in, so you're confident that that is enough?
Correct, yes.
Any other questions from board members before we?
Mr. Chairman, your fence in the back, what style fence are you guys going to use? Because obviously big dogs.
Sure, we'll have to have at least a 6-foot fence, and that'll be vinyl material.
Okay, so privacy style fence,
Yes,
basically?
for sure.
Any other
I have a
questions?
question.
Mr. O'Rourke?
I'm looking at these pictures.
Okay.
So where are the dogs going to be kept? This says an outside fenced area, and then these are dog suites, but it doesn't appear there's many suites. Assume
Correct.
it's
So,
one dog, or do you group them together, or?
so that's just the rough draft of the suite. So what's going to happen is they're going to have their own cubicles or individual suites. We do not want to be referred to as a kennel, because we're not going to keep our dogs in any kennels. They're going to have their own suites, and some are going to be basic suites, and they're going to be some premium suites that like my sister was talking about with the two-way communication between the owner and the dog. So we're gonna have Wi-Fi and all that type of accessibility also. But that area that you see on the blueprint that says suites, that's the area that we're gonna kind of use. In terms of how we're gonna lay out the suites, it's kind of hard to just,
May I say something?
sure.
One of the things I would like to point out in that rendering, because it is, it's rough, but what it doesn't show is that there's a double decker, right, for the smaller dogs. So it just looked like it's just one suite, that's one entire suite.
Right.
So yeah, we're gonna have like 2 suites within that one area. You see, right, it'll be like, so we're gonna make sure, according to code and everything, that the dogs, we want to make sure the dogs are comfortable, have enough room to move around. We have, in terms of setup, beds, we're gonna have their monitors in there, and all of their favorite toys that their parents want to bring for them. So we really wanna make it really kind of cozy, and that's really kind of our niche. We wanna make it like a boutique dog experience for them.
So a dog suite will have crates in there, or?
No, they won't be crates. So, okay, so according to.
What's the size, I guess, of it? If I
Sure.
bring my 30-pound dog,
Yeah, sure. So obviously it'll be depending on the size of the dog, but according to Lake County, Indiana's Code of Ordinance, that every dog has to have at least 27 square feet of space. So we're gonna have more than that for our dogs. Our smallest suite is gonna be about 40 square feet. So it just depends on the size of the dog. Obviously, the bigger dogs are gonna have more space. And then it's also something common for families that have multiple dogs to ask for a family enclosure for multiple dogs in one suite. So we're gonna have those different options, and they'll all be available in that little area that you see.
okay. And this may be outside of our area of expertise, but 50 dogs, I don't see how you have 50 dogs in there.
So that's not really our number, our goal. Our number is more like 25, 30. But, I just put 50 down because, we may have small dogs. We may have 30 small dogs one week. We may only do 20 big dogs another week. So it kind of depends on the size. There are a lot of variables, so, sure.
Okay, so the operation will be 25 to 30 dogs. We included the 50 option in there as expansion and growth if it takes place, but that's not our target operating number. Any event that we do move to 50, there will need to be like some expansion and some more renovating that we would need to do.
So lastly, this picture right here is kind of how the building is laid out prior to you doing anything. So this really isn't what it will be, it's the other picture.
Correct.
That's
Yeah.
the one.
That's how it looks right now.
Right. That one, that's what you're envisioning.
Yes,
Okay.
correct.
That's all.
Mr. Couros?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Ladies, sorry. There are more of these facilities in Lake County? And again, you'll forgive my ignorance on this topic, but there are more facilities like yours in Lake County? But this is your first one?
This is our first one. There's Fort Pauls in Munster, Indiana. I can't recall the name of one in Crown Point, Indiana, but there are roughly 5 that I've researched in the surrounding area.
And now I can come in, bring my dog into you, you can groom it, and then I can come back in the afternoon and pick it up?
Well, no grooming. We're not offering those services in phase 1, but we'll be your dog sitter. And let's just say they stay a few days and they need a bath, we can't offer the dog a bath. We do plan to do that, but we're just basically providing proper care and attention and love to the dogs while the
And
owners
how
are away.
much does this service cost for one dog, if I may?
It depends on if you do a regular or a premium suite. The premium suite is the one with the Wi-Fi camera and the TVs for the dogs. Basically $45 or $80 per day for the overnight stay. And then the daycare, they start at $40 for the daycare daily.
On the overnight boarding, I take it that you're going to have hire a staff for the overnight boarding. What kind of qualifications are you looking for in that staff to sustain that overnight boarding for you?
Great question. So as I mentioned earlier, I am actually in contact with the Chris Tackix. He is a dog trainer. So prior to our launch, we are going to have some training to make sure my staff is properly trained on how to care for dogs. And then we're going to also have quarterly updates and reminders to make sure everyone stays the way they need to, so dogs can be properly cared for and have the training that they need to provide the dogs with what they need.
Okay. So in terms of the training process, right, we're going to train our people to what to look for, right? If a dog is, aggressive signs, fear or anxiety, and just really how to manage the day-to-day. So that's what our general staff will be trained on. In terms of the overnight stay in which you spoke of, it will be someone that's qualified in training and managing and handling dogs that will be staying overnight with them, yes.
I want to add something to that. I do want to mention that before any dog is accepted in our facility, they have to pass a temperament test. So we won't be accepting every dog. We are not looking to house any aggressive, I don't want to say aggressive breeds, let's say aggressive dogs. So they have to pass the temperament test. They also have to have their Bordetella, their distemper, and their rabies shot. So we will have requirements in order for any dog to qualify to be at our facility.
Understandable. Thank you. Are there any other questions from board members?
Question for the town, do we have any facility like this in Schererville now?
I do not believe so, no.
Okay.
Any other questions from board members? If not, we're going to push it out to the floor. Are there any comments from the floor? Yes, sir. Would you step up to the podium and state your name and address, please?
Sure. Good evening. My name is Steve Vanderwood. I'm an attorney here in Schererville, Indiana. And I represent some folks here in Schererville. Doug Sanford of Sanford Investment Group, Dr. Dan DeBoer of the DeBoer Chiropractic, John Camp and Tim Boer of Camp and Boer Accountants, and the owners of the property directly adjacent to the proposed site here at 2433 Ontario, as you could have seen on the map there. My clients respectfully object to the requested use variance here for the following reasons. The proposed variance is contrary to the clear intent of the existing zoning for this property. The subject property is located in the C3 Highway, Commercial, and Route 41 Overlay zoning districts. Per the Schererville zoning ordinance, the zoning regulations for C3 Highway, Commercial zoning district include the permitted uses in the C2 community commercial district. So I want to go through those two. In C2, the community commercial district, when we look at that ordinance, it clearly prohibits the boarding of animals and uses that create exterior noise. For example, in C2, the ordinance permits animal hospitals and veterinarians, but excludes kennels and boarding houses. It also permits jazz clubs and similar performing spaces, provided no sound is perceptible outside of the building. And then it also permits schools, commercial or trade, including those teaching music, dance, business, commercial or technical subjects, provided such use does not create noise, vibration, or other objectionable influences. Moving to the C3 district, the ordinance has similar restrictions on boarding animals and exterior noise. Banquet halls are permitted, but only when provided entertainment-related sound is not perceptible outside the building. Pet shops are permitted, provided that cats and dogs shall not be boarded. The zoning ordinance makes clear that uses involving animal boarding and perceptible noise are not permitted. The petitioner here proposes exactly what the ordinance restricts. The petitioner intends to board dogs on site, and the planned use includes an outdoor dog run that's just about 20 feet away, directly adjacent to my client's professional office building, where my clients have windowed offices where they meet with clients and perform, their professional services. These exercise dogs are going to bark. They're going to make noise. That barking will be perceptible beyond the building and beyond the fencing. And my client's windows are only 20 feet away. Unlike music or entertainment, animal noise is unpredictable and cannot be reliably contained or scheduled. So this isn't speculation, it's an inherent feature of having animals and dogs boarded and then having them running outside the building. My clients operate professional accounting, financial, and medical offices some 20 feet away from the proposed use. These uses depend on a quiet atmosphere of professional decorum. Persistent barking and outdoor animal activity right outside their offices is going to be disruptive. It's going to adversely affect the operation of their business, and it's going to be a detriment to the value of their property. Secondly, reviewing the petition, it's clear that the petition has failed to meet the statutory standards for a use variance. Indiana Code 36-7-4-918.4 states that a use variance may only be granted where the petitioner proves all of the following. The use and value of the area adjacent to the property included in the variance will not be affected in a substantially adverse manner. The need for the variance arises from some condition peculiar to the property involved, and the strict application of the terms of the zoning ordinance will constitute an unnecessary hardship if applied to the property for which the variance is sought. As I've already pointed out, the property use will adversely affect my client's use of their adjacent property and the value of that property. Moreover, the petitioner has not identified any condition particular to this subject property that prevents a permitted use under the existing zoning. No evidence at all has been presented in the petition that permitted uses have been explored for this property and found to be impossible because of the property's conditions. In fact, no hardship has been asserted at all in the petition, other than perhaps the petitioner's proposed economic use, which is not permitted. This is simply an economic preference for a particular business model, and Indiana law is clear that economic preference is not an unnecessary hardship. For these reasons, the petition has not met the legal standards required under Indiana to grant a use variance. So for those reasons, we respectfully request that this petition be denied. I'll gladly answer any questions you have, or I have some of my clients here that are the property owners and tenants in that property, if you'd like to ask them any questions as well. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I have a question. Are you talking about the building directly west?
Yes, 2433.
So from the whole building there?
Correct.
And I believe the building to the north of the proposed daycare is McGinnis Automotive?
Yes.
Okay, so that, no problem with the noise from that facility?
Not that I'm
No,
aware
it's
of.
not on the agenda, I'm just,
Nope.
okay.
I mean, there's no external use of, all of the activity in that facility takes place inside the building, yeah.
Thank you.
Sure, come up to the podium.
Okay, so there's an automotive shop, like you mentioned, to the north. Has that not attributed to any noise, any problems? And then not just that, the front of the building is actually facing west. So the front of our building is facing east. So there is some sort of, there will be some natural noise mitigation there just because it's not facing the same direction. Like when customers come into 2433, they don't even see the boarding the way that they're entering from Ontario, so.
If I could respond to that. Just to be clear, while clients do enter from the west, the actual office meeting rooms where my clients meet with their clients is along the boundary between the two lots. So the windowed office spaces are on the east side of the building.
We respect the ordinance and the board's responsibility to enforce it. Our intent is not to operate a traditional kennel with outdoor runs and unmanaged noise. Dog Depot is designed as an indoor, professionally supervised pet care facility with sound mitigation, structured group management, and strict operational controls. If there is a concern regarding participable noise, then we are prepared to present a detailed operations and noise mitigation plan demonstrating compliance with performance standards. If the classification of animal boarding is the issue, we respectfully request clarification on whether the ordinance contemplates traditional kennel operations, as our model differs substantially in scale, design, and impact. We are committed to aligning with the ordinance and welcome guidance on the appropriate path forward.
Are there any other questions from board members at this time? Mr. Kurz?
Is it closed to the public?
Yeah, is any other questions from the audience at this time? If not, we're going to bring it back to the board. Mr. Kurz?
Ladies, I respectfully have to tell you that I concur with the gentleman. I think that the placement of it is not appropriate. I'm concerned about, and again, I'm concerned about the overnight accommodations, and you're saying that we're going to take care of it, we're going to take care of it, we're going to take care of it, and nothing's kind of definitive yet. So I don't know if it's a matter of tweaking your model or something like that, but I tend to concur that it is a professional setting, and having the dogs out there running is not conducive to the area. That's why I asked if it was on 41 and if there was a problem with the dogs getting loose or anything like that. So I'm sorry, but I concur with that.
Any other comments from board members at this time? We'll send it back out one more time before we bring it back to see if there are any other comments from the public. If not, we're going to bring it back to the board.
Mr. Chairman, if I may.
Mr. Jarvis.
Ladies, I really believe the boarding is a need. My daughter has 3 dogs herself, and she can't hardly go out of town on vacation or whatever. I think you could probably come up with a better location than this, because you got offices around there and such. If it wasn't for that, then I probably would be in favor of the recommendation. But at this point, with all those offices around there, I don't think it's a good fit. But there is a need, definitely a need.
Mr. Chairman, I concur with that, too. I was totally missing the fact that there's a business right there. I'm glad that they came and spoke up, because if they miss this opportunity, and with your diagram showing the dog run, like right behind that building, I could see problems in the future, and no one wants a neighbor problem, which I could see that being. And I hope that you can find some other place if this doesn't work out, because I agree there is a need. I was very interested, because to go out of town, I got to find someone to watch my dog, so that's all.
Any other comments from board members?
Chairman, I concur with my fellow board members. There is a need for a type of business like this in Schererville, but like I said, the location is probably not the best. So hopefully you can find a different location that might not be bordering businesses that close.
Let's just make it clear that this is a recommendation to the town council and not the final vote. So I think this is a recommendation to the town council, not a final vote.
Thank you.
Okay, if there are not any other comments from board members, is there a motion?
Mr. Chairman,
Mr. Kurz?
BZA case 26-2-18, 2436 US 41, the Dog Depot. General location 2436 US 41, Crosby's Edition, Lot 1. Petitioners Kelly Turner, the Dog Depot LLC, requesting variance of use as required by ordinance number 2004, Title 16, Section 5, Paragraph C3, to allow overnight dog boarding and dog daycare facility. I move to send an unfavorable recommendation to the town council.
I'll second.
So we have a motion, unfavorable motion from Mr. Kuros and a second from Mr. O'Rourke. All those in favor? Mr. O'Rourke, would you make the roll call on
Mr.
that?
Corus?
Yes?
Mr. Jarvis?
Yes.
Mr. Olszewski?
Yes.
Mr. Davis?
Yes.
And Mr. O'Rourke, yes.
So there's an unfavorable recommendation. Ladies, I do believe that there was communication that maybe you might want to look for another site here in the town. There were comments by board members that they feel there is a need for this particular service in the greater community of Schererville. It's just that the businesses there are a problem. So we welcome you to look around and see if you can find another site and come back to us, and we'll take a look at another solution.
Council?
Thank you all.
Yes, we appreciate the opportunity to talk before you guys. Thank you.
Thank you. Have a nice evening. Next is commission business, findings of fact. We're going to BZA case 26-1-1 through 26-1-8 as detected in the agenda. The petitioner, Morningside LLC. Is there a recommendation for 26-1-1 through 26-1-8?
I'll make a motion to approve.
Motion for approval from Mr. Jarvis. Is there a second?
Second?
Second from Mr. Kuros. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion's passed. Next on the agenda, BZA case 26-1-9, 2633 Morningside Drive, Morningside LLC. Petitioners, Morningside LLC, 26-1-9 through 26-1-16 as noted in the agenda. Is there a motion for approval?
I'll make a motion to approve.
Motion for approval by Mr. Jarvis,
Second?
second by Mr. Cruz. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. If there is not anything else or any correspondence, we will be in adjournment, and thank you very much for your time.